Hello folks, this is Steve AB4EL. Nothing in this episode is a promotion, nor is it a recommendation. And you know that one of the places I look almost every day is /.org, news for nerds, because I'm a nerd. But this episode is in the series called YouTube is the Problem. And it mentions YouTube in this featured point that I want to read to you. The title is YouTube Escalates War on Ad Blockers. Now, the fact that YouTube has had a struggle with ad blocking extensions that can go into Google Chrome and other browsers is not news, but they're saying escalates. I agree with the word escalates because it's something that's been happening lately. Let me show you. Actually, I struggled with this a bit, and I think I've This is the YouTube Creator Studio. This is the channel content view within that. If you don't make videos and publish them, you would never have bothered to come in here. And the first page shows my most recent videos that have been published. Now, a little over a month ago, I published 2 YouTube is a Problem videos. The first one was, I said, this feature up here called Search Across Your Channel was broken. Stop working. But the next day I published one called Solved. Well, it's broken again. Now, when you put your cursor in there just to start the search by typing in a word, like a Google search, only within all of the titles of your videos, it shows you all of the videos that have the word mark in them, even if the word M-A-R-K is within a word and doesn't begin the word. Well, that's working, isn't it? And the problem was before had something to do with malware bytes. And in the solved video, I said, oh, if you just turn off ads tracker facility of the Malwarebytes browser guard extension, it only operates inside of your browser, it would make the search work again. But if you turned it on, now what happens is, because I changed the setting of the extension, it reboots the page I'm currently on. And I have to start the search again. And it doesn't work. And you're going to say, but that's what you published over a month ago. Now watch. I struggled with this for a while. This is about literally the 10th time I've started to make this video. I'm going to turn off the malware facility of the Malwarebytes browser guard. And then I'm going to go back over here. That's going to reboot the page. Did you notice the search doesn't work? Does that make sense? I turned off another thing and it stops working? Why don't we turn it back on and get the search back? Let's see what happens. It's going to reboot the page. Let's see what happens. Oh, no, wait a minute. 2 tries back. That worked. Didn't it? You notice that I turned off a different one. Now it works. Does that make sense? It's rebooting the page. I've got them all turned off. I've got them all turned off. The search isn't working. Now do you understand why it took me 10 tries trying to figure out what is going on? I thought I knew the answer the first time I started to do the first video. And then I get into the middle of the video and it's not working right. It's not like working the way it did before. Until I finally figured it out. Reboots the page. That contradicts the beginning. That contradicts, that was the one, that was the setting a month ago that if you had it on, the search wouldn't work. But if you had it off, the search would work. And it had nothing to do with the other 2 settings. They're all turned off. So why don't I turn this one on? It's going to reboot the page. So I start again. Search doesn't work. Now, let me remind you of what this /.abstract is. YouTube escalates war on ad blockers. Escalates. Meaning that when YouTube made some kind of change and it figured out that you were using an ad blocker, it screwed up your ability to watch a video. And somehow the presence of the ad blocker in the Creator Studio, which has nothing to do with selling advertisements while you watch a video, was screwing up the search inside of. But I found that all you had to do was turn off the top one. That these 2 could be on. If the top one was on, the search in here didn't work, but I solved it by finding that if I just did that, it would work great. But now it's inconsistent. It works, it doesn't work, it doesn't matter what the settings are. What's going on? Open warfare. The struggle has gotten to the point where whatever code it is that YouTube has created now this week, because I've had this problem where the search stopped working about 5 days ago. YouTube's war on ad blockers continues, now making ads truly unskippable, and then the ad goes on to all this detail and all blah, blah, blah. And it makes the news here because people are going, oh, whoa. And I see the side effect of it in here. And I use, look, I've got over 4,000 videos. When I need to find the ones about wasps, to create a new playlist about wasps, because I just did a video about mother wasps, I can't search through 4,000 videos to see if there were any about wasps. I need the search. And it kind of works and doesn't work. Can I make it work again? This is a game of Russian roulette. It worked! Now I'm going to show you what's going on. The escalation is to the point where the code behind the defenses on the YouTube side don't make any sense and are chaotic. Their results, their effects, and when they operate are unpredictable and chaotic. And how do I know that? I've just been demonstrating the side effect that's occurring, not playing a video where they want to show me an ad, but inside of the Creator Studio. Where a month ago we saw the first effect where it spoiled this search, and I found, oh, if you just turn this top one off on the Malwarebytes browser guard, everything's okay. But about 5 days ago, suddenly it doesn't work at all. And I hadn't touched anything. And now trying to make this video, each time I tried to make the video, well, no way, that's not what I figured out. What's it doing? And the answer is chaos. Now, if you go over here and you go down to extensions, there's Visit the Chrome Web Store where you can get extensions, but there's Manage Extensions. And in my Chrome browser at the moment, Google Chrome browser, this is the view of the Manage Extensions. Now, see this right here? This extension is Malwarebytes Browser Guard 2.6.27. This one is Handy Screenshot 1.3.0. This is this is Privacy Badger. This is uBlock Origin. But now there's something new. These extensions may soon no longer be supported. Remove or replace them with similar extensions. They're inviting me to uBlock Origin is an ad blocker that is what it began as and continues as. Malwarebytes added ad blocking in this past year. Malwarebytes has been around a long time. This year they added ad blocking because there are things called malicious ads that if you click on them, they destroy your computer secretly. There's a thing called version 2, version 3 manifested. These two still work with what's called the version 2 manifest for when you program and create an extension and publish it. It has to have it in order to be publishable through the Chrome Web Extension Store. And there's been a big, long, drawn-out, delayed battle of the move to version 3, which is about to happen. And these guys say if version 3 becomes the absolute requirement, their extensions have to disappear because there's no way they can do their protection under the version 3 specification, which is exactly what Google, Alphabet, YouTube, and Chrome want. My interpretation. But that's not in effect yet. Now this will sound like I'm off on it, but that's not the absolute requirement for version 3 is not in effect yet, but will be soon. And as soon as that happens, Chrome will automatically make Malwarebytes Browser Guard and uBlock Origin gone from my browser. Won't work. Dead. They'll turn it off. I'll have no choice about it. Now, why did I go down this path? Because what I showed you here is at the present moment before that big we'll win no matter what by changing all of the rules. But while they're still operating under the current rules, they are so desperate in trying to figure out how to overcome the genius of people like Malwarebytes and uBlock Origin, because every time they try to counteract it in this escalating war against the ad blockers, these two guys come up with ways to absolutely screw them up. So it doesn't work. And this chaotic behavior is happening because we're in the last hours. They can't just allow a lot of ad blocking until it goes to manifest 3 and it gets rid of these pain in the asses. We got to have that money flow now. And the problem is that under manifest version 2, the guys at places like Malwarebytes and uBlock Origin easily outsmart Alphabet, Google, YouTube, and Chrome every time they try a new defense. Every time they say, I detected you're using an ad blocker and I'm not going to let you see anything. Turn it off. And these guys figure out how to circumvent it within hours. And so the only thing actually left, because YouTube ad blockers prepare to stare at nothing for anywhere from 6 to 30 seconds. Multiple YouTube users are now reporting on social media. This is July 29th is the headline today. Multiple YouTube users are now reporting on social media that YouTube is serving them with blank ads. Blank ads. Can you imagine that? You claim that you're running an ad, but the screen is blank? Or black screens before a video when they are using an ad blocker extension. The black screen appears for the length of a typical YouTube pre-roll. Pre-roll means you click to watch the video, and before it starts, they play the ad. And then they start the video when it all works right. The black screens appear for the length of a typical YouTube pre-roll or ad insert before displaying the actual content of the video the viewer wants to watch. Now, what they don't say, this is meant so you can't skip the ads. What the writer of this doesn't know and didn't observe, but this coincides with my trouble inside of my channel content view, trying to use the cross the site search, is that when it gives you that blank screen, or it actually does play the ad, let's say the ad is 45 seconds long, and then the video starts to play. You may not have noticed that the video started to play 45 seconds into the video, and you didn't get to see the first 45 seconds unless you push it back to the beginning, which is another indication that the the anti-ad blocker to facilitate the proper playing of the ads is broken. Now you see, I sound like I'm repeating myself, but I'm bringing all this. This is just like YouTube is forcing malware down our throats. Now, when all of you are programmers there at the YouTube trying to solve this problem, when they're all actual just dropouts from code camp courses, you have to expect this kind of chaos. If they had real programmers like they have at Malwarebytes and at uBlock Origin, it might actually be an even match. That's a little bit of editorialization. I'm wondering what's going to happen when Manifest version 3, the clock strikes 12 and it becomes the total absolute requirement and they kill anybody that's not using it. I wonder what the fourth quadrant's going to look like on that day after. See, look at how short this is, or the abstract. The article is not that. There's so much chaos, excuse me for going on. YouTube is the problem. Even though I had it set so it would play the ads, they're still screwing me up. Pardon me. Even though I had it set so that they still play the ads. Okay. They still screw me up. Don't you just love them? YouTube is the problem. Steve A. before you, finished ranting, saying see you in 73.